Thank you, House Chair. Honorable Minister, South Africans who are concerned about high levels of crime are looking at government to curb illegal immigration. And one of the ways they are expecting to happen is that fences need to be erected where there are no fences, and illegal tightening of borders controls must take place. So I want to know, because of porous borders that has allowed many criminals to come to the country, what is government going to do to ensure that all those who are applying for documentation, that in the process, you do not give proper documentation to people who came into the country illegally? Because such people are aiming at getting the South African passports because they are easy to get, allegedly, and they want South African IDs. So we want to know that how are you going to ensure that all these people who are in the country, who are saying, now we want to come forward, we have lost our documents.
Thank you, Honourable
we want
Member.
to apply for documents.
The Honourable Minister.
Any migrant who has lost documents, we offer them renewal. It happens quite often. Even these ones who, in Cape Town, who did a sit-in at the office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, when they clashed with police and they ran to the church, we offered them that those who lost documents must come forward. On Monday, the Reverend Chris Nissen, who is the commissioner of the South African Human Rights Commission, called a meeting between Home Affairs, the Commission, the refugee, and their leaders, Department of Social Development, and many others, to discuss this issue. And in that meeting, the refugees clearly say they've got nothing to do with the Department of Home Affairs. What they are looking for is not documentation, but is to be taken out of this country, because they say this is a terrible country. And the Commission told them that they can't. As I'm speaking now this morning, the head of the regional office of the United Nations High Commission is there. He was talking to them, and an hour ago, he told me that they told him that all they want is to be taken out of South Africa. And he told them that there are 3 conditions in which they'll be taken out. 1, they can't be taken out as a group, but as individuals. 2, each one of them must apply, and the country that is going to accept them must accept them as individuals according to their profiles. And he said the number of countries that accept refugees around the world for relocation, because it's a big problem, only 1% of people who want to be relocated get relocated. That's what the commissioner said. And he said he gave them an option, which is the easiest, to integrate back into South Africa. And we as Home Affairs, we said we are prepared to integrate them. But they said no, there's no way they'll stay in South Africa. Then the commissioner offered them that will take them to their countries of origin. We joined him and say even Home Affairs will help them to go to their countries of origin. They said they will never go there. They don't want to go there. They don't want to go to South Africa. The only thing they want is to be taken to another country. And they don't mention it publicly, but in the corridors they say they want to go to Canada, and nothing more and nothing less.
Thank you, House Chair. Honourable Minister, in the light of the recent xenophobic attacks that have been taking place in South Africa, which have affected the international or the national relations of the African countries, including South Africa, what positive interventions have been put in place to ensure that these, firstly, xenophobic attacks do not take place, and secondly, that they do not affect the economy and the economic relations that South Africa has with its African counterparts? Thank you.
The Honourable Deputy Minister.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Well, the xenophobic issues are things that are not arranged by anyone else. This is done by people that are in the country and the South African both. So I can't say now we've got a mechanism, not the xenophobic, not to happen, or any foreign nationals cannot really have a conflict in South Africa. I can't confirm that. But definitely you are quite correct that if such issues are happening, really it disturbs the economy of our country. I thank you.
Thank you, House Chair. Honorable Minister, in the light of the escalation of gender-based violence attacks in South Africa, as well as the austerity measures that are going to be introduced where departments are asked to cut back on the finances, how is this impacted in addressing the challenges of and bringing convictions with regards to gender-based violence? And what kind of mitigating factors are you looking at putting in place to ensure that there is indeed convictions with regards to crime and corruption as juxtaposed to the austerity measures that are being placed on the departments across the board? Thank you.
The Honourable Minister.
We already have opened 3 sexual offences courts this year in Sibasa, in Limpopo, in one at the
Honourable Minister, can you just give me an opportunity? There's too much noise coming from this side here. I can hardly hear the Minister, Honourable members. Let's give the Minister a hearing. Continue, Honourable Minister.
a newly built court in Bichi in the Eastern Cape. The Umtata High Court has been renovated, which also include a sexual offences court. A newly built High Court in Mpumalanga, which also include a court dealing with sexual offences. We have also, as I've said, in the process of helping the Tutuzela care centers to strengthen their work, but also looking at caravans to help them in terms of the additional resources that the Tutuzela care centers need to deal with the scourge of gender-based violence and femicide. With regard to corruption, the special tribunal of the SIU is now in operation. We have also been given additional amount, which will help them claw back huge amounts of money on behalf of the state. And I've been advised that already they've started their processes. They are now in operation. Summonses have been issued. They are at work. So the austerity measures, our understanding of them and also in our engagement with the National Treasury, should be understood with the context that with the NPA, it is bringing back money. It's an investment because some of these monies are going to come back. They're going to be used in the revenue, but also it also opens up our country for various investment by many other countries. So we believe for us, the austerity measures will not really affect the work that we are supposed to do. It is the NPA, the various investigation unit, including the special investigation unit, are able to do their job to bring back the money into the national fiscus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Minister, it is very evident that the competence with regards to the usage of alcohol is the competence of provincial and your municipal bylaws. However, it is clear over the festive season that when it comes to the use and the imbibing of alcohol, particularly in public spaces, there is an abuse of alcohol, even though it may be prohibited by law, but there's an abuse, not just of alcohol, but there's also marijuana and other prohibited substances that are openly being used publicly, particularly over the festive season. And then you have people being stabbed, bottles being broken, and the public at large becomes threatened. Can you take the public into confidence that over the festive season, not just with alcohol, but every other banned substance, that the police will act hard and swiftly on those who compromise the law in this regard? Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister.
Yes, we'll do that. Thank you.